Hello, my name is Dalton Parker, and this is my performance-related monitoring session for PFTR 1223. For this assignment, we are going to perform VO2 max interval training on Rosemary Parker. Rosemary was my subject for the health-related monitoring session. To recap, Rosemary is 50 years old, 158 centimeters tall, weighs 65 kilograms, has a resting blood pressure of 107/76, an RHR of 67. Rosemary does not formally participate in physical activity, but does live on a farm, so she is somewhat familiar with activity. In a VO2 max interval session, we are trying to increase the client's VO2 max by overloading the client to their max potential anaerobically, and then giving them recovery time, and then repeating this cycle. Before we begin the exercise, we must go over a few safety procedures. First, the client may stop the exercise for any reason if they feel uncomfortable. Or, 2, if the client shows any signs of physiological stress during the exercise. A PARQ Plus questionnaire was completed prior to this video stating that there was no reason Rosemary cannot participate in physical activity. Okay, now we can begin. Rosemary first went through a dynamic stretching routine prior to starting the video. We are going to start with a warm-up at 4 miles an hour at a 0% grade and increase by 1 mile an hour every minute. We are going to try to keep the heart rate between 50 to 70%, which for her is 85 to 119 beats per minute. Once we have completed the warm-up, we are going to move into our interval sessions. The workload that we are going to be performing is 3 different sets of 5 minutes long, 2 minutes for the workload, and 3 minutes for recovery. The 2-minute work is performed at 5 miles an hour, where Rosemary's 100% VO2 max is, and for 3 minutes, recovery at 3 miles an hour or 2.5 miles an hour, where Rosemary's 30% max is. We must remember that every minute we collect heart rate and RPE. The treadmill is also set to 1.5% grade. After Rosemary has completed the workout, she will move into active recovery. This is 4 minutes, which is the reverse of the warm-up speed and at a 0% grade. After active recovery, we move into passive recovery, which is 3 minutes with the cessation of aerobic exercise. We will also remember to collect the heart rate every minute and blood pressure at the 1st and 3rd minute. Okay, now we can begin. We're going to start the warm-up at 1 mile an hour, 4 minutes, increasing 1 mile an hour every minute. First minute, heart rate
81.
RPE
6.
You're going to increase to 2 miles an hour. At the 2nd minute, Mom's heart rate was
89.
RPE scale
6.
going to increase to 3 miles an hour. At the 3rd minute, Mom's heart rate was
108.
RPE
6.
We're going to just increase by 0.5. This heart rate's getting up there a little bit. I want to try to keep it within 50-70%. At the final minute of warm-up, Mom's heart rate was
109.
RPE scale
7.
We are going to do our first VO2 max set. We're going to increase to 5 miles an hour. We're going to perform this for 2 minutes, and then you're going to have a 3-minute cool down. Okay?
Yep.
RPE scale
8. 153.
RPE scale
10. 139.
RPE scale
10.
2nd minute of recovery
129.
RPE scale
9.
At the last minute of recovery, Mom's heart rate was
120.
RPE scale.
8.
We have decreased Mom's VO2 max speed to 4 miles an hour. Just she didn't feel comfortable at 5. At the first minute, Mom's heart rate was
123.
RPE scale.
9.
In the second minute, Mom's heart rate was
133.
RPE scale.
11.
Okay. We do recovery for 3 minutes. First minute of recovery, Mom's heart rate was
120.
RPE scale.
10.
At the second minute of recovery, Mom's heart rate was
107.
RPE scale.
9.
Recovery.
96.
RPE scale.
8.
We will move into our final VO2 max interval set. First minute heart rate.
123.
RPE scale.
10. 138.
RPE scale.
12.
Okay, we're going to move into the active recovery. First minute in active recovery, Mom's heart rate was
115.
RPE scale.
10.
Second minute of active recovery, Mom's
111.
RPE
9.
to 2 miles an hour. Last minute, Mom's heart rate was
106.
RPE.
8.
The final minute in recovery, Mom's heart rate was
95.
RPE scale.
7.
Alright, we're going to move into our active recovery now. At the first minute, Mom's blood pressure was 110 over 78 and her heart rate was 87. At the second minute of recovery, Mom's heart rate was 80 beats per minute. In the final minute, Mom's blood pressure was 108 over 74 and her heart rate was 85 beats per minute. Now that we have finished the exercise, we are able to perform some calculations. We can see that the data has been collected. First, we plot it into 2 separate graphs. We are able to see from these graphs the effect that VO2 interval training has on heart rate as well as the rate of perceived exertion. Next, we will plug these data points into a VO2 max calculation. We have performed this and we can see that Rosemary's VO2 max came out to 32.109. This means that Rosemary has a health benefits rating of good. We would continue training Rosemary aerobically continually because she is a beginner.